next we'll discuss about the patents. Okay, so what is patent and why patenting is required? What are the patents? Patents is an exclusive right which is granted for an invention, which is a product or a process that provides in general a new way of doing something or offers a new technical solution to a problem. So now if any new thing is invented, any new product is invented, or a new process which is invented to produce a product, or a new way of doing something, or new technical solution is there for a problem, so that can be patented, so that the person who has discovered this has an exclusive right on that. To get a patent, technical information about the invention must be disclosed to the public in a patent application. So to get a patent done, there's a technical information about the invention is disclosed, but nobody can use that invention, nobody can manufacture that invention, or nobody else can market that product. What is the importance of innovation in drug industry? So discovery of new drugs is a key element that defines the success of a drug manufacturer. So now when a drug company, a pharmaceutical company is set up, so they are involved in, so these pharmaceutical companies, they are involved in manufacturing. They start with as a third party manufacturer. Then after they start third party marketing, then they start marketing the drug, then they start manufacturing their own drug. Then after they start discovering a new drug. They have their own R&D department also. So that denotes that this pharmaceutical company is a successful company. So while developing and launching a new drug involve huge cost, the rate of return on successful drugs can be much higher than the cost associated with introducing the drug to the market. So as we all know, that drug discovery process, it is a very drug discovery process is a highly is a process which is very costly. It involves high cost. Okay, and the rate of return on the drug is, on the successful drugs, it can be much higher than the cost which is associated with introducing the drug to the market. Okay, the outcome is a block. So now when the drug is introduced in the market, the drug, if it is successful, then that with a single drug, the manufacturer or the drug pharmaceutical company, they can recover their investment, and also they can reap out their profits. Example is, Glaxo went from being a small player at the beginning of the 1980s to the world #1 with the presence of 50 countries on the strength of a single drug, that is Zantac, for stomach ulcer. So there is a drug which is named as Zantac, which is used for peptic ulcers, which is manufactured by GlaxoSmithKline GSK. And so initially the company was a very small company in around 1980, and then it come out to be a very a #1 pharmaceutical company with a single drug, that is Zantac. So now you can understand that how much profitable it is. Like if you patent your drug, so nobody else can manufacture that drug, and you are the sole player, you have your monopoly of that product, and hence you can get the investment, whatever investment you have done, you will get the return of that, and also you will be in a profit if that drug proves to be a successful drug in the market. And why patents? Why it is required for patenting? So it takes approximately 13 to 15 years to develop and launch a drug in the market, including the clinical trial, which accounts for 6 to 7 years for a chronic disease. So now for developing a drug, it requires at least 13 to 15 years of time. And also the cost which is involved, that is also very high. So generic drugs which are in the market, they are same as that of the branded drug in terms of dosage form, safety, strength, route of administration, quality, and performance characteristics. The differentiating factor between the patent and the generic drug, between the branded and the generic drug, is that only of the cost. As they do not have to go through product discovery and trials, then hence the cost of the generic drug manufacture is very low in comparison to the branded drug, and hence so the branded drug, they also have to lower its cost. Otherwise they will nobody will purchase the branded drug, everyone will purchase the generic drug only. So now the pharmaceutical industry, their main aim is to improve health, and then their secondary aim is that of the profit. So this is the ethics of the pharmaceutical company, that first they have to see that whether first their main objective is to improve health, their main responsibility, and the secondary profit comes secondary. So pharmaceuticals, as said by Dr. Drummond Rene, transcribed from Dying of Drugs, Channel 4 UK. So pharmaceuticals, they are the commodity, but they are not just a commodity. There is an ethical side to this, because they are commodity that you may be forced to take to save your life, because nobody takes the drug as such. We all are forced to take drugs when we are ill. So at that point of time only we take the drug, and that gives them altogether a deeper significance. But the big pharmaceutical companies, they have to realize that they are not just pushing the pills, they are pushing life or death. And I believe that they don't always remember that. Indeed, I believe that they often forget it completely. Okay, so like as is in this statement also, it is said that the pharmaceutical companies, they are now looking for their profits, but they should not do this. They should their first priority is to make the medicines which improves the health of good quality, and which provides good safety and efficacy. Then they should look for their profits. Now, intellectual property protection and enforcement. The WTO, World Trade Organization Agreement on Trade-Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Rights, TRIPS, introduced intellectual property rules into a multilateral trading system for the first time. So WTO, they introduced the TRIPS agreement. Okay, so TRIPS agreement plays a critical role in facilitating trade in knowledge and creativity, in resolving trade disputes over intellectual property. So with the TRIPS agreement, the knowledge and the trade knowledge in trade, what is a trade knowledge and creativity in trading has been improved, and also the disputes over the intellectual properties can be resolved. As per TRIPS agreement, patent protection must be available for eligible inventions, products, and processes in all fields of technology that are new, involve an inventive step, and can be industrially applied. So as per the TRIPS agreement, the patent protection, it is available for the eligible inventions, like for products and for processes, and in all the fields of technology which are new, they involve an inventive step and can be industrially applied. The TRIPS agreement describes the minimum rights that a patent owner must enjoy and defines the conditions under which exceptions to these rights are permitted. So in the TRIPS agreement, it describes what are the rights which the patent owner has, and under what condition these rights, exception to these rights are permitted. So that is also explained in the TRIPS agreement. So intellectual property protection and enforcement. Okay, so the compulsory licenses can be issued which allow a competitor to produce the product or use the process under license without the owner's consent. Okay, so now the compulsory license, they can be issued to the competitor, and this can happen in case of any emergency or pandemic situation, where the government, they allow the competitor to produce a product and use the product under license without the owner's consent. So the Doha Declaration, held on November 2001, allowed a waiver of the patent law to face a national emergency, and it was easy for the developing countries to set aside the patent laws in case of pandemics. So as I said, that in case of any pandemic situation or in case of emergency, the competitor of that particular drug can also manufacture the drug under the without the owner's consent. Okay, but they have to pay the patent owner, but the patent owner will be the patent lies with the owner only, and but that is only for a specified period of time, like for one year only the competitor can manufacture that drug. After that, they will not manufacture that drug, first thing. And next thing, they have to pay some waiver or reimbursement or compensation to the original company. Okay, so TRIPS agreement has brought a stronger patent regime for pharmaceutical innovations among the member countries of World Trade Organization. In 1996, HART is the name of the life-saving drugs, a combination of life-saving drugs. An effective combination therapy became available in developed countries. Death rates for people with HIV/AIDS dropped by 84% in a span of 4 years with this heart therapy, but it was very costly. That is at the cost of $10,000 to 15,000 per year per person per year. These antiviral drugs were too expensive for majority of people in developing countries. But these were the life-saving drugs. So in order to get the treatment to reach the HIV infected people in developing countries, the price of these drugs needs to be regulated. So compulsory licensing. Licenses granted without the consent of the patent holder either or remedy anti-competitive practices in situations of national emergency. Okay, so in situation of national emergency or pandemic situation, there should be no competition between them. All should work for same cause. So for that, the license was granted that without the consent of the patent holder, the other manufacturer can also manufacture the drug product. A compulsory license limits the enforcement of patent person being granted such a compulsory license, but it does not revoke or invalidate the patent which is concerned. The patent is still with the patent owner only. Compulsory license is generally subject to time and geographical restrictions, means in a particular country only they will manufacture the drug. For a certain period of time only they will manufacture the drug. In addition, the patent holder is also entitled to compensation taking into account the economic value of compulsory license. So now the patent holder will also get the compensation for that. The example is Beer's Nexiver became a blockbuster with $1 billion sales in 2011. Revenue growth was 7% over the 2010 sales of $934 million. Beer's hold Indian patent, the patent number is 215758 for this chemotherapeutic agent. There was a game changer on March 3, 2012, where India's patent office accepted a request from Hyderabad-based Netco Pharma and granted permission to compulsorily make Beer's patented drug and make it available to patient at 97% discounted price of 8,800 rupees for a month or month's dose, and the Beer's charges for the same dose was 28,000, that is approx 29,000 rupees, but it was available at only rupees 8,800 with when the drug was manufactured by Netco Pharma. But the Netco, they have been ordered to pay 6% panel royalty to Nexiver's sales to Beer's. Means in case if the suppose if the Netco Pharma they sell per year the drug of worth rupees 1 crore, then 6% of 1 crore rupees they have to pay to Beer's Pharmaceuticals. Okay, so this is the example of compulsory license. Then DPC, drug price control or differential pricing. So drug price control means a mechanism or a policy that ensures that all the essential life-saving medicines are available in all countries in reasonable prices. Okay, so DPCO 1995, in an order issued by the government under Section 3 of Essential Commodities Act 1955, the order provides that the list of price control drugs, procedures for fixation. So in the Drug Commodity Act of 1955, it was mentioned that how the drug price can be controlled, what are the procedure which can be followed for the fixation of drug prices, and what is the method which can be implemented for prices fixed by the government, and penalties on the contravention of the provisions. So in a country where alternative or generic medicines are available, a company's branded product is usually priced at a lower level due to the competition. So example, price of 100 tablets, 150 mg of Zentec is sold as below. In India, it is of $2. In Nepal, it is of $3. In Vietnam, it is of $30. And in Sri Lanka, it is sold for $61. So the price, how they vary from country to country. The same tablet manufactured by the same manufacturer, same quantity and same dose strength. Then strategic patenting. So drug development process, it consists of 3 main stages. That is, first, the R&D phase, which ends when the new drug is launched in the market. then the period between the launch and the expiry date, and this is the period where the manufacturer can make most of their benefit. Then period after the patent expiration, when the generic enters in the market. So during the second stage only, that is after the launch of the drug, the originators, they seek to maximize their uh, income from the product in order to recoup their R&D investment and earn profits before the commencement of the generic. So before the generic medicine it enters in the market, they have that particular time period only of 10 to 15 years where they can recoup their investment. So it is also during this stage that pharmaceutical companies, they can also seek their market exclusivity, but for that they should have the strategic patenting. For this, they have to develop a multi-layer patent, okay, which expires in multi-layer patenting, which expires in not in much more years than the original patent. So pharmaceutical companies have increasingly relying on strategic use of patent system to combat the pressure of generic competition. So a patent gives its owner the legal right to exclude others from using his invention for a limited number of years in exchange for disclosing the invention to the public. So the patent, when the owner of the patent or the owner who has discovered that drug, they have the limited number of years time where they have the exclusive right on the manufacture of the drug. During the period of protection, the owner can recoup his investment in R&D. This acts as a reward for innovation as well as an incentive to engage in further innovative activities. So during the protection period, the owner, they recoup his investment in R&D, and this acts as a reward of innovation as well as an incentive to engage in further innovative activities. However, some pharmaceutical companies, they may use the patent system for a different purpose as well. Like they procure numerous secondary patents and they create a multi-layer protection around the successful product to avoid the competition, and they have their own monopoly in the market. Such strategic patenting allows pharmaceutical companies to strengthen their monopoly position, thus to continue charging high drug prices. It reduces the incentives for originators to innovate, harms follow-on innovation by generic companies, and disturbs the fragile balance between patent monopoly and competition. So now this is what is the use of patenting, and why this patenting is done, and what is the benefit of getting the manufactured process or any drug or anything to be patented. Okay, so with this we come to an end of module number 9 also.